5 Bible stories that science still can't explain. Have you ever heard a story so mysterious, so beyond explanation that it leaves scientists scratching their heads for centuries? Now imagine those stories aren't just legends, but are written in the Bible. Despite decades of research, science still can't explain them. Today we're diving into 5 of the most baffling Bible stories that continue to leave experts speechless. Let's begin. Story 1, The Floating Axe Head, 2 Kings 6:5-7. A man borrows an iron axe from a friend. While working near a riverbank, the axe head flies off and sinks deep into the water. The man panics. It wasn't even his axe. He cries out to the prophet Elisha, who calmly asks where it fell. Then Elisha takes a stick, tosses it into the river at that exact spot, and to everyone's shock, the heavy iron axe head floats to the surface. Science tells us that's impossible. Iron is denser than water and cannot float under normal conditions. There were no hidden wires, no magnets, just a stick, a splash, and a moment that defies physics. For generations, scholars and skeptics have debated this account. Was it symbolic? Misinterpreted? Or did something miraculous actually occur? Story 2, The Parting of the Red Sea, Exodus 14. Moses stretches out his hand over the sea. With that motion, the waters begin to divide. Walls of water rise on both sides, forming a dry path through the sea. The Israelites walk across safely. When the Egyptian army follows, the waters collapse and drown them. Skeptics say it's just myth. But modern scientists have explored it. A team from the National Center for Atmospheric Research created computer models showing that wind blowing at 60 miles per hour in a specific direction could temporarily push back shallow water, revealing land. But there are gaps. What about the dry ground? The perfect timing? The massive walls of water on both sides? Can wind alone do that? And most of all, what are the odds of it happening at the exact moment needed to save thousands of lives? Story 3, The Sun Stands Still, Joshua 10:12-14. Joshua and the Israelites are in the heat of battle. As the sun begins to set, Joshua calls out to God. He asks for the sun to stand still so they can finish the fight. The Bible says the sun stopped in the middle of the sky and delayed going down for about a full day. There has never been a day like it before or since. Now here's the problem. Stopping the sun would require halting the Earth's rotation. That would cause earthquakes, global flooding, and destruction. Yet there are ancient reports from other cultures, like Chinese and Mesoamerican, that mention an unusually long day in history. Could they be referring to the same event? Was it poetic language? An astronomical illusion? Or did something truly cosmic happen? Story 4, the fiery furnace, Daniel 3:16-27. 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, refused to worship a golden idol. They're sentenced to death by fire. The furnace is heated 7 times hotter than usual. It's so intense that the guards who throw them in are killed instantly. But inside the fire, the 3 men stand unharmed. A 4th figure, described as glowing like a divine being, appears beside them. When they emerge, not even their clothes are scorched. There's no smell of smoke. No burns. Nothing. Some say it's metaphorical. Others call it myth. But the account is written with vivid detail and placed in a political and historical context. How could anyone survive flames that intense? Story 5, the resurrection of Jesus, Matthew 28:1-10, Luke 24:1-12. Jesus of Nazareth is crucified. A Roman soldier pierces his side to confirm his death. He's buried in a sealed tomb guarded by soldiers. 3 days later, the tomb is found empty. And then witnesses begin to report appearances of Jesus alive. Not just 1 or 2 people, but over 500. They claim to talk with him, touch him, eat meals with him. Some of these witnesses, like Paul, were former enemies of Jesus. They had nothing to gain and everything to lose. Psychologists say mass hallucinations on that scale are nearly impossible. The early Christians were persecuted, beaten, and killed for what they believed. Would so many die for something they knew was a lie? Even today, the resurrection remains one of the most examined and debated events in religious history. And science still has no answer. These 5 stories shake the boundaries of belief in science. They challenge our assumptions about what's possible. Whether you see them as metaphors, miracles, or mysteries, they remind us that some truths live beyond the edge of explanation. So what do you think? Could there be more to reality than what science can measure? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thought-provoking content that bridges the gap between faith and the unexplained.